Lex the Legend says, I need to know what type of music libraries actually want and need, and what production level does it need to be? Well, I can answer the second half really easily. The highest that's possible. There is no room for low production level all the way down the line. Not just the library, but the music supervisor, the director of the show, the editor in the film room who's going to be editing your song to the show. They need to listen to that stuff and go, whoa, this is really nice. This is well done. Sometimes the library will have an editing guy or a mix person that has to deal with it. Everything needs to be high quality. Now, as far as what type of libraries, what do libraries actually want? Libraries want everything. And the way you know this is you go to the library and you look at all the albums they have. What albums do they already have? What kind of albums are they working on? This is kind of basic 101, how do I find music library stuff. You go and you do a search. It's called Google. I'm sure you've heard of it. And you type in music production libraries and you go to those music production libraries first before you really check out libraries. Make sure that you're able to send music to them. If you're trying to do all this yourself, you're not coming through someone with me with the pre-established libraries that I have relationships with, and you're trying to do this on your own, make sure you go to a library that has a way to contact them and says, we are taking submissions. Don't waste your time on libraries that aren't taking submissions. Second of all, after you find that, find some styles that they've already done and do a great album or a great 5 songs in that style and email them and see if they're interested in working with you and if they'd like a full album of this. It's a great way to find out what they want and if they want it. Love the Fishing Rod says, how many hours do you put in daily on making music for sync libraries? This week it's been about, on the days I did not go work out, it's been about 8 hours a day. So I'm pretty serious about this. I've been in album finish mode, and I feel like the rest of this year is going to be album finish mode because we have so many albums, so many libraries waiting for albums and accepting them and ingesting them that it's just my full-time job. Now, I do some other things. I do some help for other clients where I do some marketing for them from time to time. And I also work with a few artists who I do tracks for that aren't necessarily sending that to sync. But, geez, dude, it's so much of my day. I will sit in this room to my wife's chagrin, sitting in here all day long, working on music for sync, going from one song to the other. Yesterday, it was all cello music that we were finishing. Earlier in the week, it was Wolfgang's album that we were finishing, all beautiful music, but also the week before that was a horror album that I was finishing, an Intention album that I was finishing. She's not that crazy to have to hear horror music floating through the house or tension music floating through the house. But if it was up to me, I would sit here from about 9 to 6 every day, just like a regular job, sitting here working. And then sometimes it's not making music, but it's getting the music ready for the library, which means making stems and putting things in the Dropbox. I also have to do a lot of pre-production for projects where I'm sending stuff to players, to singers, to all this kind of stuff. So all of that happens in this chair, right in this room, all day long. This is all that I do is work on music full time. I do now take 2 days a week and go over and work out, which takes 2 to 3 hours of my day. And I feel really guilty about that, which I probably shouldn't.